Whoo-wee. At least we got a little power on this battery. Woke up this morning, did a huge drum track on that, brought a dude over, played for a while, added a bunch of stuff to it, made a huge track, and then we're talking, and I erased it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I still have half of it, but oh man, I was planning on doing music all day today, man, all day. And well, I met a good connect and everything was good. He busted out the horn, we did some stuff. And we were just talking, getting to know one another, talking. And I'm doing computer work as we're talking, and I fucking erased everything that we did. But I still have how I started the stuff. Just organizing a little, little reggae jam action here at my house and stuff. So he just left, and I was gonna give a drum lesson tonight, but that's not happening either. So, I got into RC when I was waiting to do music with dudes. I would just I got my first Slash and I started doing stuff to that while they were, I would just be waiting for guys to do music, or somebody would be recording something and I was already done with mines, and I would just mess with an RC car. And man, I'm really glad that I can just step into some RC right now, because I basically lost this whole huge project I was working on. All these layers are gone. I can start it over. I have my template to start it over, my bass riff, if I lost that, the whole damn thing would be done, but I still have that. So what I can do right now is get back to that R5, that engine that was making that noise. I just got this today. I got a Conrod, and I got a replacement rear engine bearing. And I look up here, my parts wall. What have I had up here? What do we got here? Piston clips. These are on back order. I couldn't get these. I tried to order these with that order that I was just opening right now, and I couldn't get Red's piston clips. So boom, right off my parts wall. That's probably been up there for at least a year. It's on back order, but I had it up there. That shit feels good when you pull something off your parts wall that's on back order that you had up there. So yeah, man, I brought those trucks home. I'm building another two-wheel buggy. But I got to rewind back to that engine. That feels good right now, to just rewind back to that engine and just see, So let me do that. We'll take this in little increments, I'll get that gear back there, charge up a couple more GoPro batteries, just use that camera to truck this thing around, and yeah. Oh, I can't even look over at my music computer right now. Damn. We recorded such a fat jam. This dude I just met, he come over, laid down some trumpet over this beat. It sounded awesome. I was going to email it to him. I'm getting ready to do that, but we're talking. And I press the damn replace it with another thing button. Whoa! Ooh. So let's just work on this engine. All right. Let's go over what we got here for gear.
I put the fuel filter in my bowl of oatmeal. Okay, guys.
Fresh. I got Dimitri there. He'll help me out. All right. I got these piston clips. I got this bag to now I've never done this before, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to take this piston and these tweezers This probably will take me a while, but I want to do this just in here and get used to doing, I don't know, just see if I can do this piston clip removal thing in here, like, and I don't know, something like this, so those clips don't go flying. So I'll just, you know, leave that in there. So we got the clips. We got a rear bearing here, which I kind of want to just right now compare. Oh, this is already getting my mind off of erasing my whole session with that dude. I was just bummed that I couldn't send him an example of what we did, but I think he was still like, he still had a good time. He'll come back. He was a cool dude. So obviously, I mean, yeah, this brand new rear bearing feels like butter. I'll save this. I'm definitely not going to toss it. And just, yeah, I mean, I'll just know that, and I know the front bearing, is good. So I got all this shit right here. So let me go ahead and get into removing this con rod. Pretty much. All right. All right, clearing off some space here and stuff. I'm looking at this back plate like really closely, and I notice what let's see, if I can find the old conrod and piston. Oh, it's in here. So it looks like this conrod was like super, I don't know, man, like slapping against the back plate. I'm noticing like this pattern, like this fucking crop circle. I got a crop circle here. And or rather, and I got a lot of markings right here on this old conrod. A lot of markings. So it's like so it would have been like this, you know, because that logo faces the outside. So I believe this damn thing was like really violently like coming up against the back plate. That's real evident right here, real evident. So anyway, that's just what I'm noticing right now. As I kind of look at this back plate kind of in the light right now, I can just see these crazy markings. Okay, let's continue. Okay, we got one conrod out. Never done that little operation before. I don't know if these pins get thrashed after a while. I mean, this only comes probably with a new piston. Those clips are gone. Didn't do the job in the bag. Couldn't see it. Both those clips went flying. Gone. So extremely fiddly. All right. So looking at the bottom of this connecting rod, this used one, there's like a little it's right there. There seems to be a lot of wear right there at the bottom of the rod. So there definitely is, yeah, there's some visible wear that isn't evident on this new one. I think they call this area the bushing. So the bottom bushing on this old one just looks to be chomped through pretty good. When we stick the pin through on the old one, I mean, I can feel it moving around a little bit, not a lot. I'm going to stick the pin through on the new one. I mean, yeah, there's definitely less movement on the new one. But mostly just what I notice is there's a lot of wear on the old one on the bottom bushing. So I'll set that old rod off to the side. And yeah, that's just what I noticed between the two connecting rods there. Right, as per Mike Craddock, a bit of oil. Always watch Mike's, watch this fucking metal tip on this oil dribbler here. It's just, Mike Craddock has a really good video on taking apart your Reds engines, and every time I do something I always go back to that video. So he was just applying a bit of oil, basically, just in there where that pin goes. So it was a good little tip. I just watched him just now put those clips in. That is going to be a fiddly job, man. Those clips, good God. All right, so let's move on to that. Okay. We got the clips in. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but still super fiddly job. So, all right. Here's a look at this piston. And some stuff has gotten in there. I got some, you know, up and down marks on this piston here, so yeah. I'm still gonna go ahead and re-rack it. You know, I don't know what else to do with this gear. It's this engine still has a lot of compression. So let me just go ahead and spray everything out. You know, get everything cleaned up. Spray out the sleeve, clean the crank, just clean everything off. I got some carb spray here, and I mean, I'll just, you know, take this case and my carb there still, but and just start cleaning everything. All right, so just hit it with some carb cleaner in there in the sleeve, and just trying to get it as clean as I can in there. Just kind of roll up this shop towel a little bit. And just get everything clean, man. All right, got a clean sleeve. Look over the crank here. Just hit it with a little cleaner. Okay. Yeah. All right. I just did the case earlier. I kind of got in there with a Q-tip and just get everything as clean as possible, boy. I'm inside my house. I got no dirt in here, so I should be good there, man. I always have to read the book when I use my bearing puller. Always. I constantly have to look at the pictures to get these damn things back in. But this could be where I messed up last time. I might not have gotten that rear bearing completely in there. So this time I'm going to make sure that rear bearing is completely in there. Oh yeah. Okay. Use my bearing tool, and I can absolutely confirm that the rear bearing is fully in there, and the rear as well as the front bearing. This is a new front bearing. Pretty new enough. It wasn't leaking. It's a good bearing, and this is a new rear bearing, so we should be good as far as bearings go. So everything else is pretty straightforward as I get this thing put back together. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll get this thing back in the car and get it back up in the window and start this thing and see and take a listen. All right, my R5R is coming back together. was my first competition nitro engine, man. Ran my first race with this, and I'd like to think it's not dead yet. It's 3 years ago. What I really like about these 4-shoe clutches, oh my god, everything. I mean, you can just get in and out of your engine so much easier when you just take this thing off and you don't have to remove the shoes. I mean, I can't imagine going back to 3-shoe just after the ease of taking these things on and off. All right. Had to take a little salad break. Got some spaghetti sauce heating up in there. A little Saturday night spaghetti. Should be good. So, I just got these in the mail. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking this would probably be a pretty good time to hook up my 0.5 idle gap. I think I'd like to go with a 0.5. So here it is, right? 0.5. But I can't get that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and Dremel this thing and just make a little finger that can go down there, and we can ensure a 0.5 idle gap. So let me get into my Dremel shit and see if I can get this thing sorted. So yeah, I just took the Dremel, hooked up a little middle finger there, and I'll just go down in there and see what my idle gap's hollering here. Just see what we got. Okay, I had to hack at that thing even more. So we got a longer. Let's just see if this goes down in there. I cut this thing off. You do this, want to make sure you don't have any freaking shavings left over on your thing here. It's kind of a janky finger, but I think it'll work. Again, this is 0.5, so 0.5 mil. So I'm trying to establish a 0.5 carb opening here. So I got a little play. So let me get my the screwdriver. Looks like it'll work. And let me just turn this counterclocky. Just like 2 hours. And see what I got here. I mean, that feels like it. I got a 7 Venturi here. Seems like a pretty good Venturi. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. All right. Let me just double check this idle gap here. All right. Yeah, it took me a while messing with that thing, but I got a 0.5 gap here, so I'll know. I was trying to think if I should mark that setting on my carb body here somehow. Maybe I'll just do that another time. I just want to know that I have a 0.5 gap here, and maybe I'll set all my engines at 0.5. I did look up the Works though, and I believe the Works was calling for a 0.7. I am going to mess with this Works here in a second. Maybe not tonight, but I will. I might set the Works to 0.7. They have a killer tech sheet on their website. Reds was a little more vague. They didn't actually publish an idle gap number, but I think 0.5 should be a good starting point for the Reds. But then again, I don't want to move the carb screw at all. I just want to use the low needle to adjust the idle. So that's what I'm going to try to stick to anyway. Right. I kind of wanted to just show my fuel routing here, my line. I just wanted everything away from the pipe. I saw a great video with Paul and Cody King tuning, and I noticed how they had their fuel line. They had a pipe that actually had the nipple going that way. So, and they had routed their lines actually right by the cooling head too. So I didn't want to do that, but they had all their line away from the pipe, and I just thought that was really cool and clever. So I kind of tried to replicate that, and maybe it'll work, you know. So we got a nice long, well, we got a good length coming from the tank to there. So, you know, if I flip over, it should stay alive. I don't know how the back pressure thing will do there, but you know, it might work. I'll street run this car before I take it up to a race, but so let me get the also I was just going to put the fuel air filter on just like backwards for now to remind me that there's no freaking zip tie on there, and we'll test it like that. I've put these damn things on before and not remembered to zip tie them down when I thought shit was okay, so this will remind me to take it off if I have to take the engine out again anyway. So that's why I don't want to zip tie it down. So let's get this engine heated up. It's a winter night here in Central Oregon. It's cold outside. I'm inside. I'll transfer it over to my my little station here. Little bump box. And some of the, I forgot who I was watching. I think it was Frank, Nitro Freak, suggested this this hose. He said that like the diameter, and I remembered, and I wrote it down right when he said it. You know, I was watching one of his long feeds, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, guys, inch and a quarter of so and so hose." I was like, "Oh fuck," and I wrote that down, and I went to fucking Napa, and I got it, and it works. So yeah, man. That's what's cool about listening to those long feeds. Sometimes you get little bits of information you can remember and stuff. So, okay, let's get this bad boy heated up and see what's up. Fire in the hole. Let's lean our low a little bit. Get that idle up. This fucker's not fitting in there. Okay. You guys hear that sickening noise from the last video? Because I sure don't. Nitros are so fun to work on. You just get this like, it's like digging for fucking treasure, dude. You're okay with the adventure itself is fun. let's just hear it cruise a little more. I was just about to turn down the low, see if it. Let's give it some gas. I wonder if that hose kind of restricts how shit's going. I mean, I don't know if you could actually tune one of these engines with that hose there. It might be impeding how the damn thing's breathing and everything. So I don't think there's any really point in worrying about, you know. We just heard it climb a little bit now, didn't we? We got drivetrain spinning. So, hey man, I don't hear that noise, man. I don't hear that noise. So I'm gonna say that this Reds engine can get. I'll test it at the parking lot in a few days next week when I'm off. I'll take 3 engines down to the parking lot if weather's good. If I can do this shit during, you know, as long as the ground's not full of water. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take it out on a rainy day, but our temperatures actually haven't been that cold, but it's not even February yet, so we still are in winter. We'll see. But I don't hear that noise. So I'm going to leave everything on there, you know, and just call that a backup engine. That's it, you guys. Back to the fun. Good night. So setting that idle gap was killer. It feels like it was pretty close before, so I probably had it pretty close to 0.5. But just knowing that it's at 0.5, and then just using the low speed needle to kind of adjust your idle. Again, it's hard to tell when you're not driving it, you know, it's just chilling like that, but there's my R5, baby. And it's always been a really reliable engine. Had a lot of fun with it. I mean, while this thing's idling even, I got this works over here. I think I'm gonna take 3 engines up to that race. I wonder if I could actually swap out 3 engines on a practice day and see if I could get them all tuned and sounding killer. We'll see. I got a pipe on the way for the works, so I kind of wanted to take all this shit down and be done with engines, but I'm not. I have more engine work to do, and I might just put all the engine work into this one video. All right, take a little trip back to our parts wall here. What do we got here? I'll take it. Works 4-shoe clutch, baby. Oh yeah. Keep doing our nitro chores, boy. Okay. We got a 4-shoe clutch here. And we got an SH that's just mucked. I think if I just hit this with some heat. So I'd like to get this onto this, get this back in my 8 buggy over there. And then, yeah, I'll just run this SH and the 8 buggy. Seems appropriate. Yeah. The works. This should actually start seeing some race work, man. You know, this should be going up to the big show. This is an Italian engine. This is good artillery. You know, this should be put on the racetrack. So let's get into our let's get into more nitro chores, and I'd like to just eventually take down this table. You know. Well, we got oil all over the front of this engine here. This was on its side for a while, and there was oil all over the place. So that makes me think we're leaking oil out of the front somehow. I don't see any reason in racking that back up. I think I'm going to have to get into my bearing puller. All right. So I think I will just get this video in the chopper and do the rest of this shit another time. Well, I'm gonna keep working on it, but I just want to show that I think we got that noise in the R5. I mean, it's gone, so you know, I'm happy about that. And yeah, that's what I know right now. So it's Saturday night. There's a lot of other stuff going on, so I'm not going to go ahead and run to the chopper and get this video uploaded. I actually don't even want to work in my music room right now. I lost a whole fucking project earlier, and it was actually good just to run out of that room and run into this room and do this stuff. Like I said earlier, I got into RC basically when music would piss me off. That's how I really thought about it the other day when I was en route. I got into RC just as basically hanging out in the waiting room for music stuff. And I can't believe how it just exploded on me. But I got into RC because of music. Absolutely, 100%. And the same damn thing happened earlier, you know? I got pissed off in the music room and ran to my RC stuff, and it's worked out great. I'm totally happy now. Yo soy contento. Big time, dude. I have all these bits, and it really takes my mind off of that. But anyways, it's just funny, you know. Just how this stuff can help you out. If you can run to it when you want to run to it, it's cool. It takes a lot of time to do all this stuff, and if you're just starting to get into a job and stuff and you got to go and do something else, it could actually be frustrating. So something that sucks you in this deep, it's good to have the time to do it whenever you want. So I'm fortunate I have that, you know. Anyways, I love this stuff, you know. Table full of engines, a table full of builds in there, you know, building another 2-wheel drive buggy and that. You know, got the old Schumacher getting together here. And I mean, just everything, you know, trucks and stuff. So I'll get those engines done, and man, which one do I want to try to fire up first? I'm not sure. I think the Revo and the Savage have a good chance of firing up. Ooh, look at that. It looks like a mouse knot on that. But maybe I could just use a glow igniter for the Revo there. I mean, after looking at that, the old Savage looks like it might be easiest to start. All right, I'm just gonna get back to it. Good night, you all.